Alright, so I thought I would chronicle this process for people who are having issues or people who have questions. So after lunch I went for a walk and I thought, gosh, it'd sure be nice to start my brew session before I wake up in the morning so it's ready to dough in. So I thought, how am I going to do that? Well, I need some kind of a timer. Probably need some kind of a button that I can use an if statement, but I really didn't think about it because I wanted to think about it here and script it so you guys can see kind of the vetting process of the thought, the script, the test. So let's get started. So my script says when I start it, it says ready to brew. So if I run it and it waits on brew start state to be true. So oops. So it waits for this button to be clicked, and when this button is clicked, then it waits for this next button to be clicked after I enter my parameters, this button. So if I want a timer, I think I want it probably in between the parameters because I'm going to need to set my parameters. So I'll probably want it somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. Because that button's false, and then we're going to have to make the timer click the button. So how do we do that? So first off, let's create a switch. And let's label that switch. Let's label it auto brew, we'll call it. Okay, so we got our switch. That way we can use an if statement. So if auto brew is on, then we'll create a timer. We'll call it auto timer. How about? And we'll want to count down because we'll want to get to a 0 value. Alright, so we have our two. A button and a timer. So now we got to tell it if this button is clicked to do something. So we write an if statement. If, and we always put our name in quotes, auto brew. So that's the name of this device. That's what we named it. Its state equals, it's a double equal sign, true. Then what do we want to happen? Well, we want auto timer. We want to make sure that state is enabled, so the timer's on. We want to make sure the timer starts, so we say start auto timer. So that's going to start it. Then we're going to do a wait condition. Wait until auto timer expires, basically. Auto timer value, excuse me. Sorry about that. We will wait till auto timer value, my goodness, I'm getting blown up here. Sorry about that. So there's a value, the time is a value, so we got to make sure we designate the value. And we want to make sure that's less than or equal to, oops, less than or equal to all zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that tells it, so if this is checked, then it's gonna, whatever time we put in here, it's gonna start it, and it's gonna wait till the timer value equals 0. So what's gonna happen when the timer value goes to 0? Well, we wanna stop the clock. So we'll stop auto timer. Then we'll just reset. Reset. Here, let me put that in lowercase. Oh shoot, it's being stupid. So start. Alright, so start auto timer. Wait, stop, reset, auto. Alright, so that gets rid of our clock functions. We also, now, since it's going to wait for this button to be true, we want this timer, this if scenario, to hit this button. So we're going to say recipe input state, oh, I forgot my quotes, state equal true. So we have a recipe input state false, and we're waiting for it to be true to accept the parameters. So we're going to force it to true. And we always have to end it with an end if, because that's your statement. If that, then that. So let's give it a try. So auto brew is enabled. Let's lock this. We'll set a time. Set a time of, I don't know, 10 seconds for this demo. So it's set for 10. Auto brew is on. Let's see if it works. So the beginning is it's going to wait for brew start to be hit, just like it always does. Alright. So, alright, auto timer state enabled. So it didn't like that. So, let's stop this. And why didn't it like it? State equal true. Let's see. Oh, we lost it. Start timer enabled. Oh, it wants an enabled function. Aha. So I screwed up there. So enabled. Oops, we're locked. Enabled equals true. Alright, let's see if it likes that better. Since it's a timer, it's enable or disable. If it's a device, it's state. So let's run it. Alright, so it's waiting for brew start. Alright, so now it's waiting for our timer. Timer's at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there you go. It auto pushed the button and now goes on to the brewing system. So now let's stop this. Let's e-stop all these just in case. And then let's do it again without the button enabled and see what happens. And I'll even set a timer here. This has 10 seconds just to prove a point that it shouldn't start because our button isn't enabled. So let's run. It's going to wait for brew start state to be true. So we're going to go over here and make that true. Now it's going to look for the parameters, and it's not going to do anything. We can change parameters. We can say, we want this 10 minutes, and I want this at 1:33, and change any parameters. We want all these hops, but nothing's going to happen because you see here, the if statement says only if it's enabled do you do something. And since it's not going to do anything until I physically move it. So auto brew the night before has been created. So simply, it'll be a simple timer. So let's stop this, and we'll say, let's say, 8 hours from now. 8 hours from now, we want to brew. Run this, and start the brew station just like we normally would. And now it starts the timer, and it won't auto start until this timer's up. So now I just set my timer for 8 hours, and then I can come in all the way after it's filled its hot liquor tank and boiled and cooled and all the purging and everything. I come in right here where it says add grain to continue. So that should shave off easily, I don't know, probably an hour on the brew day. So hope this helps, and good luck.